Hey, what's up grinders? I am Hazard and this is Gems of War. We have an off week from campaign, so no campaign tasks. Woohoo! What we are going to do this week is Tower of Doom every day. So that's what we are going to do. And on Tuesday we are going to get Faction Assault that is related to this week's Kingdom Bright Forest, so it will be Sunken Fleet. And on Wednesday we have Gitsit, and on Thursday we have a Hierophant class trial, and on weekend we are going to have Arena event, whatever that was called. And also there is a new legendary troop in event chest. Note, you can only pull it from event chest right now. It was called King Oberon, I think. Yes. It's a legendary troop from Bright Forest. Troop type is Fey, and it gives magic based life and 5 magic to all allies. Then it creates a firestorm and enchants all Fey allies. This trait is actually pretty nice. It helped me in the very first floors in the Tower of Doom event, as all Fey allies start with 50% mana. And now, as one of the fan favorites is also Fey, Rowan here, she will get a nice 50% start in every battle if you use King Oberon in your team. As you well may be aware that you usually use the Marashi Queen, who gives 50% start for elementals, but as this is a green Tower of Doom, you can't use Marashi Queen in the lineup. So that's about King Oberon. And I guess we could do some towering, some doom killing, but I have to check the scouting info first. And I'm going to quickly tell you how this thing works, just in case you are first time here and you have absolutely no clue how to play Tower of Doom event. You have these floors. You start from floor 1 and they go all the way up to the... I've seen one guy do floor 1000, and you need absolutely a shit ton of sigils to get there, but people do that. Trust me. And all these floors are same to you and your guildmates. That doesn't mean you and me, but it means you and your guild's members. For example, this floor 16 over here, this is same to me and my guildmates. And other guildmate has already scouted this floor, and I know what these rooms keep inside. There are scrolls what you collect. There are magic scrolls, life scrolls, armor scrolls, and so on. And those are actually scrolls what you want to not do. For example, now if I go check the scout info, this floor 16 here, the room 2 will be a life scroll. That life scroll adds to your boons what you see on the left here. That would add, as you can see, our guild has collected some of those because scouts collect all and do all rooms, so they collect also those unneeded scrolls. So this life scroll here would give that boon amount to 3 to 8. And once that 8 is collected, it will turn to 0 out of 9, but you get another life stat which will affect all your guild members. Okay, so you think, oh, but that's great, more life, more stats, more magic. But you know, that doesn't work like that. Everyone would have to collect those, and as the sigils are somewhat you know, hard to come by, you have to pay for them eventually. So it is suggested to only collect the necessary scrolls from these rooms. You skip life, attack, armor and magic scrolls. That is, if you know where those are. As I know that this second room here is a life scroll, I won't do that. I will do this third room here, which I know that it will be a unlock room, which will unlock this boss room here. There also are other scrolls like haste scroll, which is kind of a free battle. You don't lose your sigil if you win the battle. And that's it. You don't get any other scroll from that room. Now, some people are saying that haste rooms are stupid, that you don't have to do them. You don't gain anything from doing them. But hear me out. When you do the battle, first, if you win it, if you know you are going to win it, you know that your team is good and that you are going to do that room well, you don't lose sigils, but you are one battle closer of Ravenspawn. That is the important info what comes to the haste room. So your guild should do haste rooms always. Then we have a fireball scroll, what you see on the right. Over there, if I could get my cursor over there. Anyway, that will instantly defeat a non-boss room. So one of these over here. And then we have a heroism scroll, which will instantly defeat a boss room. This here. And that is what your guild wants to do. They want to kill as many dooms as they can, because that is the leaderboard. How you see there that dooms defeated. Shining Force has 388 dooms defeated currently. So the scouts do their job. They write the info in your guild chat or whatever forum you are going to use. We use Discord, for example, mostly. And then when you have the scout info, you are going to do only the necessary rooms. There is also a luck scroll, and you absolutely want to do that, because that will add 2 to your guild's doom total. Over here again. If Nemesis right now would get a luck scroll, they would have 766 dooms defeated. And when another member gets that same luck scroll, it would go up 2 again. That's what your aim is, to kill as many dooms as possible. So we have stat scrolls which add to these boons over here. And they are not as important as the other scrolls. Luck scroll, super important. Fireball scroll, important. Heroism scroll, very important. And then we have a power scroll too, which is debatable if it is important or not. If your guild is a high level guild, they usually skip the power scroll, which adds 1 amount to all of these boons over here. So if I would take a room which has power scroll inside, our life would then be 3 out of 8. Armor would be, actually we would get a +1 to armor, because that would increase our armor boons to 6 out of 6. And attack would be 1 out of 6, and magic would be 1 out of 4. Okay, well, if everybody collects those power scrolls, of course that is going to add in the long run, but in my opinion, if guild is good enough, they can skip those power scrolls. You can fight me about that and tell about what you feel about it, but where I come from, your team has to be as good that you don't need attack, magic or power scrolls. That said, we could try some of these battles. By the way, when I say we, that's exactly what I mean. You and I. By saying we, that's my way of connecting to you. You like it? I know you do. Now, do your part and connect to me by subscribing. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, so I could do those cute YouTuber things like creating polls and whatnot. But anyway, this room 2 is live scroll and we skip that. But this room 3 is having unlock inside and we are going to try this team here. As we are on the floor 16 now, these enemies are going to have a lot of more HP, so just using Rowan, Oberon and Leprechaun over here wouldn't do the job as well as using Marilith here to destroy gems. This is of course something which is only good for end gamers who have a global magic stat, high global magic stat. And the point here is this is pretty basic Rowan team. Rowan deals scatter damage boost by your Rowan's armor minus 114, so my scatter damage will be 59 plus 228. But as we are using Shield of Urskaya, this is a Sentinel class weapon. It will give an ally magic based armor boost by all enemy attack with the boost ratio of 2 to 1. That pumps Rowan's armor about a double at these stakes, I think, at these levels. And Beatrix is here just for the cleanse. You have to fight some Deathmark battles here and there, so I would be devastated if the Deathmark killed my Rowan and I would have to skull the enemy down using my Shield of Urskaya, and the battles would last long. So I'm using Beatrix for cleanse and also for some mana generation. And Marilith is here to generate some mana too. So let's try this battle. There, Marilith is full spam. Increase Rowan's armor. There, oh, nice boost, 200. And then Rowan, generate mana. And Rowan and done. That way. So, do we have any other good rooms in this floor? We don't. We can go straight to the boss room with this unlock scroll. This would be attack and this would be life, and we are going to skip them. On the boss room here, okay, there's one Deathmark, and if this Doom casts, it will Deathmark also my troops. So that's why the cleanse. I mean, Beatrix probably could do all these fights on its own, but well, this is what I'm using right now. Boost armor, deal damage, generate mana. Again, we could also cast this shield again on Rowan, but we don't have to, I think. Or do we? Actually, this isn't enough anymore. Well, let's do this. Now it's guaranteed wipe. There. Okay, and then to the next floor. Alright, and all these boss rooms up until to the floor 25 will give you these nature fork scrolls. These force scrolls are something you don't want to use very loosely. For example, this weapon what you get over here, well, this is shite in my opinion. Don't use your scrolls on this. You want to use your green scrolls, aka those nature force scrolls, to your doomed glaive, and maybe consider upgrading your tome weapon for Guild Wars, which I always forget what its name is. These only work the best if they are maxed, because of this last upgrade drains mana from green enemies. This is really annoying to fight against because these are weapons that loop. So there's that. I think honestly those two are just the only one which are worth of upgrading. Again, you can fight with me about that by commenting on the video. So here we have the second room, which will have fireball, and the third room will have unlock, because of the info that another member has done earlier today. We could try some other build here. Say that your stats are low and you don't want to use Rowan. We could always try some kind of skull spamming. Yeah, that's nice combo, I think. There, and one of my personal favorites in Delph, Sylvain Mora. There, and Archer is great because it has that 50% chance for skull damage to be little. It only works on basic troops. It won't work on the Doom troop because Dooms are invulnerable. They can't die lethally. Only way to kill them is erase their HP. So here we have Mang, which eliminates all armor from an enemy, then deals magic based damage, and it gains attack equal to the armor eliminated. Its boost ratio is 1:1. So here if we target this, we are going to get, where's armor? 139 attack, and it will remove that armor. Forest Guardian transforms purple gems to skulls and brown gems to green, and allied beasts gain barrier, and that is actually one of the reasons why we are going to change our class to Warden. Because Warden is beast, that means we are going to get almost the same nice stuff like Archer, Root Trap, Hunt, Leaf Storm, Dodge, and Banishment is nice too. And as we are beasts, we are going to get a 50% start to what Archer would get from the traits, I believe. There, an Aldifather is another skull creature, transforms red gems to purple and yellow to skulls, and then it can summon a Trent or green golem. And the last trait is nice, entangles a random enemy when matching purple. And here we have another chance for entangle Sylvain Mora. Otherwise useless, but this third trait is golden if your global stats are low. It protects you very well from skull damage. Entangles the first enemy, and it will always be first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. Very good troop unless stun. Absolutely useless if stun. Let's try. There's match I'm not going to take this because that would eliminate the armor away, and we want to have that armor high. However, actually, as I can target, for some reason I thought that it only targets the top enemy, but I can actually take the one which has highest armor. Okay, brain went empty, so increase attack. What am I going to do? I'm going to do this, yes, and then red to purple, no alignment. Yellow to skulls, no alignment. Brown to green, no alignment. Purple to skulls, no alignment. Okay, well, take something then. That there. If I do this, this goes here. No, that's not good alignment. We have actually, I'm going to just create those purple gems by casting Alderfather now. Here. There we have extra turn alignment. Do that. And that and that and that and this. The hunter's mark on the background, which comes from the warding talent, is doing a lot of favors to us. There's the fireball scroll, which again can well, we can use it right now, so you see what it does. This third room is unlocked, so if we use the fireball scroll here, you don't have to battle, you don't have to lose sigils, and you are going to get the boon or the scroll inside the room. And as we know it is unlocked scroll, we are going to get to fight the boss room. So that previous battle wasn't the best example how this team works, but it gives you an idea how this can work. You get your man up. Oh dear, and I'm pressing wrong buttons. Oh my god, it's not my day today. Wow! God bless for that entangle. So now, rip the armor and boost your attack. Thank you. And then we could do, yes, this. And then we could do this. Do that. There's one alignment from Alderfather. And every time you hit an extra turn, you are going to entangle the top enemy, which helps us a lot. There's not much alignment. There's one. Okay, cost. Now we could, well, we keep going. And now we are against the Doom, which cannot be entangled, and this is where things go hard. So this is perfect example that you shouldn't go panic mode right in the first fights, but you should actually buff your attack well enough before you start looping with this Forest Guardian and Alderfather. Because these both are removing red and brown gems what your man uses. That is why you want to boost your attack before you end up fighting the invulnerable Doom, which as you saw can't be entangled even if we matched purples, and even if we matched extra turns. Okay, that kind of theme. Then I guess we could use this is interesting. P14. Yep. Oh, good. Okay, there we have cleanse option and a backup true damage dealer. Essence of Evil adds survivability and annoyance for the enemy. Elementalist, very good and defensive class. P4 here. Deals magic-based true damage to an enemy and there's 10% chance to kill them boosted by their armor. The boost ratio is 5:1. So that means 20% chance. So every 100 armor you are going to have 20% chance more. Well, I don't like my chances, but as we have pretty nice mana generation here, we could try those 50-50 chances. Then that's what we are going to do. But did I enter a wrong battle? I think I did. No, I did. This room will be a haste room. That's nice. No sigils wasted there. So there, cast EOE so you will get some help from the entangle. And we could do that and then that, and now let's try that little shot chance. Oh, it worked! Yay! How about now? Oh, again! 10 cost B. This is actually a kill. There. Oh wow, we're lucky today. So anyway, this works pretty well on the later levels and later rooms. If we go and fight here, Glacian will have 238 armor. So that's straight 40% added and 10% more. And I believe that floor 25 and past they are going to have 400 armor, so that's very close to 100% lethal chance. Anyway, we got the haste. Is here anything for, unlock is in the Glacian room indeed. Well, let's try. Excuse me. Oh, Raven. That's our main priority here. So that it won't fly away. I guess we could take that. And now 200, so we are having almost exactly 50% chance, and it worked like a charm. Generate mana. $228, boom. Nope, not this time. That's fine. We have B here for these kind of cases. And we can actually do that too. Okay, now we're a little bit stuck here. Little bit stuck here. Green or blue, Klee or skulls is too okay. I think this needs a mana generator. Another mana generator. Something like Boxstrider up top maybe. This reminds me of my one of my old teams. I could maybe try that. Another fan favorite, Tina. There, let's try that. There's incredibly many good teams for Green TOD. I personally think you don't have to be too creative, because honestly Rowan will do the job very well. Boxstrider, by the way, as you saw, inflicts entangle when doing skull damage, and Boxstrider is your usual game destroyer, like Thrall, like Marilith, Angry Mob and so on. But with the twist, that entangle is very useful. Cost Tina, generate mana. Cost P, who will also create brown gems for Tina. And there's 5 match, I know, I saw it. I don't care, because we have Boxstrider full. And now that Fairy Fire is on and Tina will destroy it. Yes. Good old team. I used this back in the day. I think that's about it. And excuse me. I think that Rowan team works the best. It has the best survivability. If you want to change, for example, you can you can use any class with it, I think, because we do one more battle and I'm going to explain why it's so good. Floor 19, luck, second room, yes. It's Rowan, Merit, and Shield. There. So indeed, because of this shield, every time you cast it on Rowan, you will also enrage and barrier her. And when you go to that weapon upgrades, every time you cast your shield, you will stun the first enemy. You will bless yourself, so you cannot be stunned, you cannot be dead marked, you cannot be entangled, and so on. It will give 1 mana to all allies, and it will also barrier your hero. So with 1 shield cast, you are going to get barrier to yourself and to Rowan. And then we have this cleanse option here, and another damage dealer option if your Rowan gets lost during the battle, and Marilith is very good game destroyer. I think if you have something like 30, that's still half of the board. The board has 64 gems in total, I think. So that will still do the job very well. Better than Leprechaun, trust me. That's another what you can fight with me in the comments. Honestly, tell me your opinion if you don't agree with me. It's okay to disagree. That usually opens up great conversations. And one more great thing about this build, as you see we are webbed. Well, it removes that magic based armor buff, but as you can check the boost ratio on the bottom right, it says I am going to get 180 armor excuse me, even though I'm webbed. And that's what we are going to give to our Rowan. Cause Rowan, spam Merilith, Rowan is full, and match is done. This is a lot faster than any other builds, and I think this is the meta build. And there you see the luck scroll, which adds to your guild's total. Okay, a long clip. Hope you enjoyed if you watched from start to the end. And have a great week, enjoy your TOD event, and by all means, if you have something to ask, just write in the comments. And please subscribe if you haven't already. See you later, and peace.